That's so amazing. It's like
Yeah.
it's like God speaking through you
Yes.
right now.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes, yes. And that's the beauty of being able to sing songs from the heart, because whatever you do from the heart, it reaches the heart.
For sure.
And during the time we were doing Sounds of Blackness, it was always labeled feel good music because it's a pickup. And I've had young people in younger generations even to come forward and say, I was ready to give up, or I was in college and I was doing my exams, and even a young doctor, one of the youngest doctors that had ever taken the bar, he came to me and he said, I was getting ready to take my bar. He said, and every day I would play optimistic because it encouraged me and it inspired me to know that I could win and that I could hold on to a dream. And to hear those kind of testimonies from young people, you know, I'm a woman of a certain age, and being with Sounds of Blackness, they were actually in their 20th year when I came to the group.
Wow.
Because my sister had been the lead singer for about 10 years, Miss
Oh,
Marie
wow.
Graham. And Gary Hines was friends of my family. My sister was there going to college. And I literally came into the group doing theater because I had just finished off Broadway with Donald Lawrence, who we know now is a gospel legend. So I just finished a theatrical run because, you know, Sounds of Blackness is also a theatrical company. So I came into Sounds of Blackness to do theater. And that's how Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis first heard me sing. They brought Janet to the studio to get her out of the monotony of being there every day. She was recording her project. And when she heard the group, she was out there nudging them, saying, man, y'all got to sign this group. There's nothing like this out there. We need to be inspired out here. And they came backstage, and that's when they told Gary Hines and the Sounds of Blackness that they were getting ready to do their label, Perspective, or A&M Records. And they wanted to release Sounds of Blackness because they were a part of the musical community, that Minneapolis sound, you know. And by Minneapolis being such a small community of African American people, Sounds of Blackness and The Time and Prince and so many of the other legends, Stokely, we were all in there together, you know, because we had to have some kind of social glue. So when they decided to do that, they wanted to do Sounds of Blackness first, the evolution of gospel, because Sounds of Blackness is literally a group that sings the music of a people.
Facts.
You know, in the same vein as a Duke Ellington and Nikki Giovanni, talking about, you know, all the different kind of genres and different kind of genres that make up our music, because people were not understanding that the music came from our West African rhythms, polyrhythms, and the origin of music is born in the motherland. So Sounds of Blackness was a group that was about educating and sharing the wealth of our heritage, our music, and our gifts and talents. So when they released the evolution of gospel, Optimistic was their first release with Sounds of Blackness. And I was really honored to hear Jimmy Jam on an interview a few months ago when he was talking about Optimistic. And he made the point, when they asked him, they said, you know, being a producer of so many different artists and music, what if you had a time capsule, which one of your songs would you save in that time capsule? And he came out of his mouth and said, Optimistic. You know, all glory went up. You know, I wanted to shout. And
man.
he talked about that and how they created that song with especially for Sounds of Blackness, and hearing my voice on that song. So it was really an honor to hear him say that, because I know that Optimistic is also one of my favorites. You know how they talk about starting at the bottom and working your way and paying dues. We were really, really blessed in that we were doing Arsenio Hall the day of our album release with Sounds of Blackness.
Wow.
You know, that goes way back. I'm not telling my age or anything, but, you know. And we got to A&M to do the album release and got a call from Luther Vandross' camp. He said, I want that group to go on tour with me.
Wow.
So we ended up, our first tour out the box was with Luther Vandross and the Power of Love tour.
That's crazy.
Yes, Sinbad, Lisa Fisher. It was really, really nice, a really nice tour. And the tour ended with such love from God and great success. Each one of the people that were sponsored on that tour won a Grammy.
Wow.
Yes, and I always talk about one of the highlights of my life was when I was introduced to Aretha Franklin, who was one of my favorite singers of all time, by Luther Vandross at the Grammys.
Wow.
Sing background for Luther and Aretha all in the same day, and to win a Grammy with Sounds of Blackness for that song Optimistic and the evolution of gospel. It's been a blessing and it's been a great run. Yeah.
That's amazing. It's so inspirational.
Yes.
Wow. So, I just want to ask you, what's something that you're thankful for right now in this moment?
I am grateful for the life that God ordained for me, to be able to have a gift, an instrument that I can share, to be a blessing to other people, to uplift the hearts. And I pray and I ask God whenever I get a chance to do this, I say, Lord, you sing through me. This is your instrument. So to be able to do this, you know, you got to love it, because, you know, this industry, it ain't cute. It ain't cute, but you got to love it. If you love it, then we're blessed to be a blessing.
Absolutely.
And when God gives us a gift, it's not for ourselves. It's to share. So I'm grateful. I'm really, really grateful. I'm grateful for my husband back here, Mr. Tim Lee. I'm grateful he's my husbander. He's been my manager for over 40 years now. So it's just an honor. I'm thankful. And I'm thankful for you today, allowing me to have this opportunity to ride and share this love and the uplifting of our people, just strolling through the streets of Atlanta, Georgia, sharing love. I tell you, I wouldn't trade this for anything. I started singing when I was 3 years old.
Wow.
With my father in church. And he is 91 years old today. And he's still preaching, still pastoring the first church he ever went to. He and I still get a chance to sing together whenever I go home to Illinois.
Wow, that's fire.
And his mother was a singer as well. So it was passed down to our family, that musical gift, because we had music on both sides. Both grandmothers sang.
Wow.
Church psalmists. My grandmother, she was one of those ones. She would even go to a mic. She was so sassy. She would stand up in the church pew. And I was telling Donald Lawrence when I did one of his songs, I always talk about how there's nothing new under the sun. Even with the music, the music changes, but the message stays the same. And there was a song that my grandmother used to stand up and sing when I was a kid, and she would stand up and she would be like, if I can't say a word, I'll just wave my hand, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then Donald Lawrence came along and he did the song, same lyrics, and then we recorded a song, and it went like, it was smooth. It was almost like, you know, almost like kind of a jazzy gospel thing. Same words. If I can't say a word, can I just wave my hand? if I can say a word, can I just wave my hand? I get so full, I would explain it if I could. God's been just that good. So being able to share that music coming down through the generation is
That's
always a
amazing.
blessing.
That's so amazing. That's so
Yes.
amazing. That's fire.
Yes.
What's something that you learned in your life that really helps you?
Learning to always be open to learn. You never stop learning. You never because when you stop learning, you stop living. And the idea that you can learn something from every lesson that you go through, and every day, when you learn, you grow, and you want to continue to grow. It's like even with flowers, if they stop growing, then they're dying.
Right.
And I want to live. I want to have life. I want to keep learning. And that's why it was so easy for me to work with the young people that I work with. As we were talking about working with Irel and Next. And my husband and I started a label called It's Time Child Records so that we could encourage young people to dream and to we network and have them to sing background and come in and write with us, and to give them a platform to get in this industry and to realize it's more than just singing. We need accountants, we need managers, we need lawyers, and if you love music, these are all the avenues that you can enter into, and understand that if you're wanting to do anything, then it's worth investing in yourself to do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I just gotta tell you again, sitting here with you singing, like it's really like it's really like God just talking to me right now. Like that's how I feel right now in this moment.
That's wonderful. That is wonderful.
Absolutely. So you inspire so many people, right?
Thank you.
Who inspired you?
My very first inspiration, I would definitely have to say, was my mother and my father. And thereafter, I was so inspired, of course, by my grandmothers, both who sang. But in the industry, I was inspired by Shirley Caesar, of course, Aretha Franklin, Patti LaBelle, whom I had an opportunity to write for.
Wow.
Being a writer with Flight Time on the label with Flight Time with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. We wrote Patti LaBelle's Right Kind of Lover. He's the right kind of lover. I'll never need another shoulder. He's got the stuff. He's the right kind of lover for me. Yes. Big Jim Wright, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, Patti LaBelle as her first gold record. We were really blessed to be a part of that, and then being with them also, I was inspired by Gladys. I had an opportunity to write for her as well, a song called Home Alone, inspired by Stevie Wonder. So many great Donny Hathaway was one of the loves of my musical life. So I've really been blessed and inspired by some of the greats, and really blessed to have the opportunity to meet most of them, to be able to talk to them. I think one of my most legendary gave me some really, really life lessons, having an opportunity to pick his brain, Lou Rawls, whom I loved, and he was such a legend in the industry. I had that opportunity to sit down and talk to him, and talking about longevity, because you have to keep reinventing yourself if you want to stay fresh, but you want to keep your clientele and your fans as you move along, because whatever you started out with, that's what they want. That's what they
Right.
like. And that's was one of the things that he was telling me. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Just keep it current.
Wow. I greatly appreciate you for coming through and
Thank
blessing
you.
the stage.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. Well, it's a blessing to be here. Always a blessing to share and to use my gift, especially in Atlanta. Yes, yes, because we could be anywhere else as we can hear these sirens going for somebody. We're blessed. We're blessed every day that we can move and breathe.
Absolutely.
Yes,
We out here
yes,
riding. And not in that.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Atlanta's beautiful. I mean, it's just amazing, you know, what God can do. It's a wonderful, wonderful ride in the sun and just sharing. And I just love Atlanta because it's so green.
It is.
It's beautiful, beautiful.
It is. Let's play some of the new song that you have.
Absolutely. This song is entitled My Man. Of course, I'm talking about my man back there, Mr. Tim Lee. August 6th, we'll be celebrating 30 years.
Wow.
This is what RL was talking about, how I would be cooking while I was teaching them vocal teaching
Yeah.
next. I would cook, and sometimes they would come in and eat, too.
That's fine. Let's get it.